Today we got more than a special guest. We got Mrs. JessGo at her Toronto private studio. So as you can see, I said private, so we're an exclusive studio. We're so lucky to be here, and I can't wait to bring you guys in. Guys, just look at this place. It's an absolute amazing place. So just talk about your vision behind you wanting to draw and become such a fantastic, I guess, real artist.
Listen, I always considered myself a little bit different. I certainly wanted to do something out of the norm. You know, I want to just see what's on my own wall and impress myself. So I just started playing around with landscape art, and I started traveling from a really young age, kind of on my own dime, just wanting to see the world. And I've been inspired by the world, and I've been inspired by what I've seen, like fashion, music, architecture, history, culture, everyday people, you know, like expression, just everything. And that's sort of what this is. And right now the exhibit that's on display is called Saturday Mornings.
This is like our freedom, our moment of freedom on Saturday morning when we get to wake up, do what we really want to do, which is have so much fun eating cereal, putting on anything we want on the TV, being mesmerized by our favorite characters.
I lead two different lives. I'm a fine artist in my studio. My clients come, they check out my collection, they commission me for work, and then I also go on tour depending on the company or the corporate, I guess, or private gig I'm working for. I paint live in front of audiences, so I paint live on a blank piece, and then by the time it could be an 8-minute speed painting, which I did for Cirque du Soleil in the Olympics, and for other incredible companies. So I have representation in Quebec, Gallery 203. They're in Old Montreal, gorgeous spot. And I guess a few years ago it was her dream to this gallery owner, which she's my representation now. That's where most of my work is, and that's where I had my first show there, which is called French and Sexy, which is, I guess, an inspired show from French and sexiness. And you're just gonna see some French and sexy stuff, and we had a great show. And of course, it's all about women and powerful women and beautiful women and exposing that. And the French do it really, really well. So what better place to have that collection sort of set off? It went off in Montreal. I mean,
a lot of people, I guess, don't really know about this industry because a lot of people aspire to be, let's say, a rapper or an actor. But I guess this seems like something very profitable. Can you speak about that? Is it a good industry to get into?
Yeah, totally. It's amazing. Listen, I think there's a lot of preconceived, oh man, you're an artist, you're gonna die before you make it rich. And there's all sorts of stigmas attached, and how intoxicated are you when you're performing or when you're creating artwork? And actually, I don't do any of that, and I take it's a really serious business. I think it's all about sticking with it, just like any rap artist, any performance artist, a dancer, a singer, a musician. I think it falls in the same category as following your dream, getting the most exposure that you can for what you want to do, putting it out there on a business level. You're not just an artist, you have to treat this as a business. The first 3 years I was performing as a teenager that this would happen. I'm still surprised every time I sign a new contract. So I'm just riding a great wave, and of course I'm thankful and I'm working really hard for that.
And speaking of contracts, so I guess what's the highest level you can get to as a visual artist, or what do we call it?
Man, yeah, I don't know. It could just, you could just live any kind of life you wanted. I know some people that they've got homes around the world. They're living the dream, man. I don't know what to say. And then I know others that are struggling and they can't get out of their basement. So there's two sides to every story, and there's a guy I know, a pop artist guy I know in the States that I'm compared to a lot, and wow, there could be you could be rolling anywhere you want with whoever you want, whenever you want.
Well, my advice, based on what I understand, is I guess maybe rapping and acting might not be the trend no more. I think we got something new here, right? Maybe try it out,
see
right?
How it goes, see how you feel, see what inspires you. It's all about you know, if you do what you love, I know that great things happen. So.
And talking about doing what you love, what was your biggest, I guess, inspiration growing up?
I was really classically trained though. Like I didn't actually do any like schooling in fine arts, but when I was interested in knowing about them, I went to like the Picasso and the Matisse and like all those crazy dudes that are of a completely different generation. But I learned from history, and I was like, my time is now. What's happening in 2000? What's happening in 2010? What's happening right now that inspires me? Cartoons and fashion, yeah, and you know, just and athleticism. Like I was an athlete.
Jess, what's up? How are we doing right now?
Feeling amazing.
Amazing. So let's tell us about how amazing that was.
This whole collection blew my mind, actually. 500 people came through the door. We partied it up. This collection took 6 months to create. There's 96 pieces in the collection, which is out of control because usually a collection's like 20, 30 pieces. And of course, I'm crazy.
How crazy are you?
I'm the craziest, man. I think I am, but I don't sleep, so I just work. That's just my life. But I'm having fun while I'm working, so I'm not really working. You know what I mean? And so the glitter is just because it's sparkly. It was Saturday morning. We were kids. We loved it. It was happy. There were good times. You're eating cereal in your PJs. You didn't have to go to school or do anything. So this is kind of just like my freedom collection where I get to do whatever I want and use as much amazing color as I want. Because like, what is life without amazing amounts of color?
Before we go out, we got to give you the plug, of course. You got to plug your website, www.JessGo.com, where we can find social media. So just tell us that quickly.
Totally cool. It's JessGo.com. It's JessGo333 is my Instagram. I'm uploading photos of just like my day-to-day, what's creative, what's out there, where I'm performing, who, what, where, when, and JessGo333. Follow me, check it out. If you plug in JessGo, my world will open up to you. So yeah.
I strongly advise you go on this website. It's been a pleasure for me just to go through it and dive into Jess's world.
It's JessGo in my studio, and you're watching Mechanical Dummy.
Wow, I'm just having such a blast here at JessGo Studios. I got my own personal couch, you know, painted by who? Jess.
Absolutely.
And Jess, just tell us about that painting behind us, the history behind it.
Oh, I love that painting. That's from my Speak for Yourself collection, and I just had to make this wonderful, huge piece. It was actually the showcase piece for Speak for Yourself at an amazing gallery downtown called House of Moments. It was our opening night, and it was all about femininity, powerful women, and just loving yourself and speaking for yourself. That's why the collection was called Speak for Yourself.